Steve, how's it going, my man?
Good man, how are you?
I'm good, thank you. It's your first time on Empire Universe Media, so just welcome and thanks for taking your time. I know you have a fight coming up.
Appreciate it. Thank you for having me, man.
Yeah, Steve. So, we're about 2 weeks out. How are you feeling, and how was or how is fight camp at the moment?
Um, I'm ready, definitely ready to fight. Get all the hard training over with. I mean, I worked my ass off this camp. I know Moldavsky comes hard, comes to fight fast. So I want to make sure he has to my pace and my strength, not the other way around.
And for this fight, do you ever have you said you just kind of got through all the hard training. So during your fight camps, do you normally try to take it easy in your last couple of weeks to avoid injury, or what's your rituals that you practice at during your camps?
No, I mean I keep it pretty intense right up until about. So I have what are we 2 weeks out? I probably have about like three or four more like real hard sessions, and then I start to taper out about like 10 days out,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
and then fight week it's all just maintenance, just staying there, staying ready, and then we pop.
Obviously you're fighting at heavyweight, but during fight week, is there anything that you do to kind of keep yourself so you don't get lethargic, or what is it like fighting at that kind of weight class?
Yeah, I mean I work out every day leading up to the fight, but it's usually like much shorter than like an actual practice would be, and it's just something to stay sharp, just something that I'm making my body react, making my body do the things that it's trained to do. It's short and it's snappy, it's intense, and then that's it. Really, like I said, up until just the day before the fight, usually I take the day off, and then fight day I let it all hang out.
Well, it's been a while since we've seen you in a Bellator cage. I know you had a previous fight that, as far as I know, you had pulled out of. What exactly happened?
I got injured. It was just a tough thing. It was I had a concussion in camp, and then it wasn't. I was trying as hard as I could to maybe make it through, try to see what happened. But then the more I tried to force it, the worse and worse it got. And then I had a couple other things that got cut and a concussion. It was a whole thing. I wouldn't have been prepared to fight, and it was I had to make a call. So
Well, it seems like it's a bit bittersweet now that you've got like the number one contender as a new opponent now, and so I guess it is a bit of, I guess, a little bittersweet. But that being said, I know that you also caught COVID as well, so that was a while back. But how are you recovered from now?
I mean, I was fine. The whenever I had COVID, I mean, we're coming. That's like what 2 years ago now. Whenever I had COVID, I'd actually here's the thing: the test was I'd had COVID about a month before the positive test that pulled me from the fight, and I mean, more than anything, it was just frustrating that I wasn't able to fight because, uh, like I said, I'd already had COVID and beat it. I was still able to keep put a fight camp together. I was more than ready to go and fight whatever that was July of 2020, and um, like I said, to have that false positive was just more than anything, it was just a kick in the teeth. Like I did all that and I still didn't work out. But no, that said, and then we found out later on, like much later on, that like the nature of those PCR tests is that um, if you have if you'd had COVID and gotten over it, you would still test positive on the PCR tests. So it was like I didn't know that until much later, but it was obviously made it even more frustrating farther down the line. That like that was what kept me out of the fight. But that said, like just like this thing in April, like it was obviously kind of crappy when it happened, but that now that some time's passed, I mean, it all ended up working out for the better. Um, after that, after the false positive, I was able to go back and regroup. I didn't have to worry about like, okay, well, is the COVID going to mess up my cardio? Is it this? Is it that? I was able to go back. I got rebooked for a couple months later. I had a great camp, had a great fight, and then same with this camp. I had that concussion, and then like I wasn't able to fight, and I was really frustrated. I wasn't sure what I was going to do, and then next thing I know, being offered a fight with the number one contender. I got a new contract. The whole thing ended up being very fortuitous. I was very very blessed that it worked out the way that it did.
Does Bellator still require you to test?
So I got vaccinated last fall, so I didn't have to test before my fight in November. But we'll see what happens. I never got anything after that. I never got another booster or whatever.
Yeah, it's kind of wild the way sports are moving forward with COVID. How a lot of times if you've got your COVID shot, you don't have to test anymore, even though you can still get it.
Yeah, it's all been. I mean, it's hard to be too upset because we're all just figuring it out. But at the same time, it's funny now looking back. We realize, I hate to say it like this, but it's funny now looking back that how big of an overreaction it was, or how overblown our reaction was, maybe. So it's not to say that COVID wasn't serious and that people weren't getting sick and weren't dying. It was obviously it's a very serious thing, and to catch COVID is no joke. It's just that like now that we have the knowledge now looking back that we do, and it's kind of like, I don't know, guys.
Yeah, and I do feel like Bellator, UFC, a lot of these bigger promotions have done such a great job. Even the local circuit, like the regional circuit around my hometown, they've done very well here in Canada, despite everything. I know Canada's kind of crazy, so I think that now that we're kind of moving forward, I'm looking forward to seeing what all these promotions can do, and hopefully they can return to Canada, because us Canadian fans, we're hoping to see something soon. So.
I knew it was tough for you guys up north. And then I don't know, it's like I said, everybody was we were all just trying to figure it out. Like it was brand new to everybody, the nature of the disease and everything like that. But now we're seeing we're seeing a lot of people backtrack now on how seriously they felt about it then and how seriously they feel about it now. And it's like, I'm just happy that the world's finally moving forward. I'm obviously, like I said, COVID's not a joke. It's a serious illness. But that said, I'm happy that we've gathered enough data now that we're all feel comfortable to move forward and get our lives back on track.
Yeah, no doubt. So you have your fight with Valentin Moldavsky on in about 2 weeks now. Now that being said, I know you're going to be the co-main event. Is there any added pressure?
Not really. It's just a 15 minutes inside a cage with another guy. I've done it, whatever, 10 times as a pro, 7 times as an amateur. I do it, sometimes 3 times a week. Obviously the pressure to fight, a good guy sometimes is there, but it's not so much the pressure for me to beat him. It's the pressure that I put on myself to perform as well as I can. So I just try not to make it something that it isn't. It's just me and another guy scrapping it out for 15 minutes.
And I know you've talked pretty humbly about the fight, but that being said, and you're talking about it's just another fight. But that being said, it is a co-main. So when you heard about it, I assume you're pretty happy. Do you get paid more for the co-main event?
Well, as a result of this fight being booked, I was given a new contract with a significant pay increase. So I'm really happy, obviously, with how not just the bigger opportunity, but also the bigger compensation, the greater compensation that came along with it.
Of course. And with this upcoming fight, I know it's cliche to fighters saying that I'm just focusing on my fight, but I think there's no. I think it's safe to say you beat the number one contender. I think you should be the next one to get that title shot. Did Bellator talk to you at all about that?
No, and I'll be honest with you. I know it's cliche, but it's the truth. I'm not really thinking about it. I'm thinking about what I got to do against Moldavsky, and then I don't know. We'll see what happens after that.
Yeah, and I know with a lot of interviews, you've kind of been asked about his speed, his wrestling, but you have a great camp over at Stanford MMA. So that being said, is there anything that you've kind of changed in this upcoming camp than previous camps for this upcoming fight?
Not really. I trained with the guys. I made sure to find the guys who are a little bit quicker, guys who are a little bit lighter. But that said, like I feel like everybody I train with is already fast and strong, powerful. We have good wrestlers, and I feel like just to make it through practice in my room is that's more than enough to get anybody ready for any kind of fight that they're going to be in. So no, I didn't change too much, to be honest with you.
And describe the atmosphere at Stanford MMA. You got great guys like Chase Sherman, Linton Cell. Like what is it like to train over there with those kind of guys?
It's incredible, man. We've whenever I joined the team, it was the final days of the Black Zillions, and even with the dissolution of the Black Zillions, we're able to maintain the spirit that started it, and along the way, the coaches and the training staff, along with the leadership on the team, were able to cultivate like that same spirit, the same humble but hardworking attitude. And just like I said, we've you named a couple, but there's so many guys that are in that room that are responsible to maintaining that professional, hardworking, confident atmosphere. So yeah, Linton and Chase are two guys that are obviously phenomenal to work with. They make sure I'm prepared for every fight. But really, it's a consolidated, concerted effort by everybody on the Kill Cliff FC crew to make sure everybody's moving forward in the right direction.
And that being said, so why does your hand get raised on August 12th?
I put on the most aggressive, violent performance you've ever seen in your life.
And I mean, you're no stranger to finishing fights. You just look at your resume there. Is this a fight that are you gonna come more with a steady approach, or are you just looking straight for the finish? What's kind of your mindset?
Just come and being as aggressive, as relentless, as violent, as mean as I possibly can.
Excellent. And then for this fight, I know you're obviously like confident in your abilities, but staying undefeated, is there any challenges that come to that? Like just trying to keep your composure as an undefeated fighter?
No, I mean it's. I have good days in the gym. I have bad days in the gym, and I don't feel like my record is a reflection of not losing so much as it is giving my absolute best. And I just so happen to have won every fight so far. So the pressure's not really on me. I don't feel like the pressure's not on me to stay undefeated. The pressure's on me, if anything, to perform even better than I ever have before. And if you'd even gotten a glimpse at just how hard I'd worked, you know that all I gotta do is show up.
No doubt. And when do you leave for South Dakota?
The Monday before, so the 7th, something like that. Yeah, the 7th.
And I understand you have a young family. Are they going to attend the fight as well?
No, my fiance made it to my last fight in Miami, which is convenient. It was close, but my little girl's only one, and then my fiance just to get her out there would be its own set of headaches. So I figured they can hang back this time. We'll have to come to another one.
Does your fiance, does she ever get nervous watching you fight?
Yes. She's more the type that sit back, watch it, have fun kind of thing. But yeah, it's not really. She's probably the only person in the world more nervous than I am whenever I fight. So
for sure. Now that being said, how does one balance like family and training life?
Obviously I just try to do my best at all times. Whenever I'm in the gym, I'm giving my 100%. Whenever I'm home, I'm trying to be the best partner, the best husband, the best father, the best. I have a stepson. I try to be the best stepfather I can be. That's the thing is like, if you focus on balancing it, it's like you won't give either one the proper effort or the energy it deserves. But I feel like for me, I'm just trying to focus on being the absolute best I can be in every aspect of my life, and letting the chips fall.
With like multiple fighters, they talk about when they finally have a child or they have like family, there's an idea that you have someone or some people to fight for it. Is that something that you stay true to?
I mean, I love my family. I've never loved anything more than, the immense privilege and honor that comes with being, a husband and a father. But that said, no, I love to compete. I love to get out there. I love to mix it up. I love to get down. I would think, if anything, that I would just like to provide a good example, for my young family, that that the focus on results. While it's tempting to sit back and think like, I want to be a winner. I want to be a winner all the time. Like, that's all fine and good, but if we're being realistic about it, it's not everything you do is going to be perfect. But if you do everything as best as you can and work as hard as you can, then success and the positive results they'll find their way to you. And that's more than anything. Having a family has shown me, it's that no, I don't. It's not that I feel like I have something more to fight for, in the sense that like I have to do better. It's, if anything, it's that I want to be an example where if you do your absolute best and you work your absolute hardest, you're going to be pretty happy where you end up.
Yeah, like you're leaving no doubt in your fights, I guess.
For sure, yeah.
Yeah. Now that being said, now obviously after the fight, I'm sure you're gonna be hurting. You probably might not be feeling the best, but any are you gonna be having a cheat meal after this fight?
Oh, definitely.
What is your go-to cheat meal?
Usually some beers and pizza if it's around, but we'll see. We'll see what's there.
We're gonna see what South Dakota can offer you.
And I hear good things about South Dakota too. So
yeah, I mean, if it was Chicago, I mean, you got the deep dish pizza, you gotta get some.
Of course, I corner or not, I didn't corner him, but I went with Rashad Evans to Chicago whenever he fought Anthony Smith, and I got to try like a bunch of the different legendary, deep dishes around there, and it was pretty awesome.
Awesome. And lastly, I know, again, I know you say you're focusing on this fight, but in a perfect world, we're gonna be in August here, so in a perfect world, would you like another fight by the end of the year, win or lose?
I would think so. Yeah. Yeah. And, if everything goes well, yeah, probably one more time for the end of the year.
Excellent. Well, Stephen, I know we're about 2 weeks out here, so I just want to thank you for your time for coming on here and talking about your fight at Bellator 284. And good luck, eh?
Appreciate it. Thanks for having me, man.
Excellent. Well, you have a good day and take care, okay?
All right, you do the same. Thanks for having me, man.